Hello there, YouTube. I am Necrostevo, and it's time for week number 6 here in the NBBL. Our opponent this week is Goki and the Milwaukee Metachamp. For the Pokemon that Goki has drafted, he has access to... that is not his team that I was just about to read out. Hold on. Hold.
Wait. Hold the phone.
Alright, Goki has access to Mega Frostlass, Noivern, Oranguru, Tinkaton, Serena, Mega Camerupt, Araquanid, Lycanroc Dusk Form, Rotom Frost Form, Tauros Paldean Combat, and Watchog. For what we have here, we need to make sure that we beat Goki. A win here would actually give us a shot at playoffs. There are only 2 weeks left of this season, I believe. So after this, we have one more battle, and then the season is done. So it would be really cool to make playoffs here. Goki has beaten us before, so it is also time for a little bit of payback. Let's take a look at what the shadows are bringing to bear here. Up first, we have our Mega Excadrill. Here you can see that we're packing Rock Blast just on the off chance that we have to deal with either like a Focus Sash on the Noivern, Wide Guard coming out from our Araquanid. I could also totally see Focus Sash on the Rotom Frost too. Other than that, I should really generally just be hitting Iron Head and Horsepower against high horsepower, not just horsepower, high maximum horsepower against the rest of the team. After that, we have our Avalugg. This is one of 2 main modes for the team. You can see here that we have Body Press and Gyro Ball with Iron Defense and Wide Guard. Why the heck do we have Gyro Ball? Why the heck does it have a Metal Coat? Well, that's because with the Metal Coat, minimum speed, and 2 attack EVs, if the snow is not up, we can one-shot Frostlass with this meager investment. Also, having this much SPDF means that we will not get KO'd by a Heat Wave coming out of Camerupt. It will do critical damage to us, but we won't get KO'd, and of course we can go for a Wide Guard to offset those Heat Waves too. But yeah, Body Press and Iron Defense are just there for alternative win conditions if we don't see any special attackers. We have our main support mon this week. It is our Salazar the Sableye, holding the Mental Herb just in case Tinkaton tries to taunt us. We have Snarl, Encore, Light Screen, and Disable. Light Screen is just one of the easiest ways to try to mitigate some of the damage coming out of the Frostlass and the Noivern because they're so fast versus my team. And I don't anticipate that I'll always be able to keep the weather in my favor. So I also really like Encore and Disable. That was a suggestion from one of my teammates. And then I also I worked on this team with Sinister, Kaz, and Justin. So thank you all for your input here because I was really struggling with team building in this matchup here. After that, because my opponent has access to two Pokemon with Intimidate, we have Dark Pulse, Power Gem, and Thunder Wave on our specially offensive Tyranitar. Here we are very, very physically defensive because the Sandstorm will make up for our special defense some, and we're carrying the Chople Berry just in case we have to deal with a high jump kick from the Serena, or I don't think it would run high jump kick. Actually, it would probably be low kick because high jump kick and protect situations is just not great. But also, Lycanroc can get close combat, Brick Break can come out of the Tinkaton, and of course the Paldean Tauros just going for its offensive move there. After that, we have our Gyarados. Fun fact, this Tyranitar is from 2012, this Gyarados is from 2011. And here we have Waterfall, Ice Fang, Dragon Dance, and Dragon Cheer with the Walk-On Berry. In the event that Rotom Frost tries to throw off Electro Webs, thinking it can easily KO us, we're very specially bulky. I have just enough attack power here, so I can always 2-hit KO Serena with Ice Fang, or I have a good shot at always one-shotting Camerupt, even if it's like a bulky defensive Camerupt with a Waterfall. We have Dragon Dance and Dragon Cheer in the off chance I get to maybe set up alongside the Sableye with Dragon Dances. But Dragon Cheer is for our specially offensive Dragonite, which has Draco Meteor, Air Slash, Fire Blast, and Tailwind. I was really torn on the ability. Tinkaton could totally just have Mold Breaker Fake Out, And so it really wouldn't matter if I had the inner focus. I'm not running physical moves to ignore the Intimidate in the first place. And so I went with multi-scale in the event that the Yachi Berry is not enough to take the Blizzard coming out of the Frostlass. So that was the only real thing that I could think of to put on there. And interestingly, Gyarados is 1 point faster than our Dragonite. And so we'll get the Dragon Shear off before we go for the Draco Meteor or the Air Slash. Draco Meteor and Fire Blast hit the whole team outside of the Araquanid, and that's why we have Air Slash, just so we can target it down a little bit more easily there. But yeah, that is the team, and we are going to get into the battle. And I believe that Goki was already waiting on me, so I am hopeful that he will be ready to go here. I'm not really sure what happened with the time here, because we definitely said 6:30 CST, which would be 7:30 my time, but somehow I showed up late. I'm not really sure what happened there. So we're just gonna hop right into the battle, and let's head on over to the arena battle. I did do several scrimmages with the team, and I kept having good luck, so I hope that continues here, because a couple of people forfeited before I could really get a feel for the team, so I had to do like 8 matches with the team. But yeah, even on the ladder I didn't drop a battle with the team, which is why I'm now in the Ultra Ball tier, so I thought that was kind of cool. So let's try here. We're going to join Goki's room. Goki, best of luck in this battle. I'm going to go ahead and write down my team here. So we have our Excadrill, Tyranitar, Avalugg. Don't forget to actually click on it that you're ready to battle, yo. That's an important part of this. Alright. There we go. We have our Sableye, we have our Dragonite, and our Gyarados. Goki has his Frostlass, the Rotom, Frost, Araquanid, the Serena, the Camerupt, and the Lycanroc. I'm actually surprised to not see a Trick Room mode alongside the Camerupt. Normally you would want to run your Trick Roomer with that. So in this matchup, it does look like I could bring Avalugg to a game here. I do think for the round 1 matchup, also no Tinkaton, so I am happy I went with the multi-scale because I don't have to worry about getting faked out by anything here. I guess maybe a Rock Slide Flinch could still come into play. But yeah, we're just going to lead with the Sableye and the Excadrill. And then in the back, let's put our Tyranitar. And we're going to try out Avalugg for this matchup here. And then, depending on how that goes, we can move forward with that. Now with this looks like I can hit everything here with these Pokemon. I might struggle a little bit against the Camerupt with these. So let's lock in and see what happens here. And now we do have access to the ability to swap out and not Mega Evolve for the speed if we want that as well. But I don't know. Okay, so we see the Serena lead off with the Frostlass, which is actually pretty fine by me. Yeah, I think I just want to light screen here. That'll give me the ability to... Now remember, Steven, don't forget, Necro, you cannot use Encore and Disable on your opponent when the Serena is on the field. So don't forget. That is very important. Queenly Majesty will block it every time. So yeah, we're just going to light screen here and go for our Iron Head, I believe is what we're going to do. Yeah. Let's just see what type of damage. Oh no, Guillotina. That is a cool name. Alright, so we see the Frostlass Mega Evolve first. Naturally, because it's going to outspeed. The other reason to wait on switching in Tyranitar is I need the snow to be up first, and if I swap in Tyranitar now, then it'll Mega Evolve after I swap, so we want to make sure we do things in the right order here. It's like a little extra layer that I have to make sure I'm thinking about. Now, there might be an Aurora Veil here. I will be faster than the Serena. Okay, so we just see Helping Hand. So I'm not going to be faster. So here's my light screen. Is Goki just going to try to target down my Exeggutor, or is just going to be a Blizzard? We do just see the Blizzard. This is still going to hurt. Ow. Please don't freeze anyone. Okay. Okay. Not good. And we stay frozen. Okay, I definitely would have KO'd that Frostlass through that. So that sucks, and I think I might just lose, honestly. I will try to switch in Tyranitar here. And try to maybe thaw out and protect. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that would have just dropped the... Unless he has some sort of bulky Frostlass. I think that would have just dropped it. So that freeze rather sucks. Let's at least lower the accuracy of the blizzards, because it looks like there's just going to be blizzard spam here. Okay, so we thaw out, which is good, and we get to protect. So I'm hoping we'll see a miss on my Tyranitar. That would be great. I would love to see a miss. No. We do not see a miss. Holy crap, that does a lot of damage. That's because it was a crit. Okay. This is just where in this battle, apparently. So we're going to try to protect our Tyranitar as we try to once again Iron Head here. I believe we need a miss. And there's not really much that I can do here. We're going to try to protect. I mean, if Blizzard, is just going to hit, it's just going to hit, Yeah. Man. And this is all through Light Screen, by the way. Critical hit my Tyranitar through the Light Screen with the Sandstorm boost. So, just not great. I'm pretty sure I lose this game 1 just because of how those first several turns went. Which is kind of whatever. But, let's try out our other tech, which is where we try to one-shot the... so we'll try to Power Gem you, and we will try our Gyro Ball to one-shot you, is what we will try. I'm assuming we're going to see a Blizzard here. We might see a Shadow Ball as well. None of those are going to be one-shots on. Okay, so we see a Swap Alps. Into what? Okay, I'm not going to one-shot that, I'm pretty sure. This is probably going to KO Tyranitar, yep. So Serena also picks up a KO. And Tyranitar unfortunately got crit, so he didn't get to do anything. We're going to go for our Gyro Ball here. That did more than I thought it would, honestly. That indicates to me that the Rotom is actually probably not Scarf, seeing that damage. And yeah, this is just unfortunate because this is a loss at this point. So at this point, my opponent is just getting information off of me. I might live because of the light screen, so we are going to try to just body press the Rotom. Yeah, that's going to be what we try out here. We just see Thunderbolt. This is going to do about half. Yep. Oh, a little bit less than, actually. Drop Kick. Okay, so I don't even get my Snarl off, so I will at least KO the Rotom here with the body press. So there's that. So we did see Rotom Frost in that game. Sableye didn't KO anyone, and the Serena takes 2 KOs here. And unfortunately, from this range of HP, especially without my light screen, I think that the Frostlass is just going to come back in here and get a Helping Hand boosted Shadow Ball off into me. Too bad the snow does not help with my special defense, because that would be very, very useful here. So yeah, we're just going to try to Gyro Ball once again. I needed a little bit more chip damage there, honestly. Those types of things happening in the battle are just kind of demoralizing, really. We live, which is amazing. Drop Kick, we do not live. Ah, man. Well, good job, Avila. You got us our 1 KO in this battle. I don't know the other Pokemon my opponent brought, but Goki won that, what, 3-0? So that completely freaking sucked in every way. Getting critical hit through the light screen and the sandstorm boost. Getting frozen when I'm pretty sure I would have at least put it into range of getting KO'd by the sandstorm. All that went very, very, very poorly. So we're going to try out the other version of the team, I think. Which is going to be... I kind of want to try to bait my opponent into going for those blizzards, but I don't know if it's even... This is a very specially defensive Gyarados, so I'm not really worried about the damage that the Frostlass will do to it. So I do like the idea of going for that Dragon Cheer first, and then we'll try to have our weather control in the back this time. With the Serena, Sableye was really limited on what it could do. So we are going to try leaving that in the back, maybe? Hacks is always going to happen whenever you're doing battles, but when it doesn't even let you play the game, it's just like... I mentioned earlier that I was having good luck against my opponents on the ladder, so this is literally just the other side of it. And it's just part of the game you play. But I really wanted to make playoffs, yo, I'm just saying. I'm just Namekian, okay? I'm black. That's much closer to being Namekian. Although some people might argue with the whole idea of the monkeys and the... Anyways, alright, game number 2. We're going to lock in here. And we are going to try out our other mode, which he's trying out his other mode too. Okay. So, if that happens to be a physically offensive Araquanid, that is good. I think we're going to see a swap out from that camera up here. I feel like I need to attack the camera up. It feels silly to just not do that. You could also try to Mega Evolve and protect it. Let's try to Dragon Cheer our own. And... I feel like something's going to protect here, but it's hard to tell what. It's very risky for my opponent to swap out, though, too. We're going to try to Dragon Cheer and then go for this Air Slash. Okay, so no protects right away. I don't miss my Air Slash. We don't KO even with the crit. That should be a crit. Okay, good. Because that's just how the Dragon Cheer works out there. And we see Ice Beam with my Multiscale and my Yachi Berry. I should take this easily. We do. Do not freeze me again, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then we see Will-O-Wisp. Oh, okay. I don't really want to see my Gyarados getting burned in this situation, honestly. We do see that the Intimidate isn't as useful here. But I could have basically dropped that camera up on that turn. So we are going to try to waterfall the camera up now. And then in the event that the Araquanid wants to swap out, I kind of want to go for a Draco Meteor into that slot. Draco Meteor is less accurate. Yeah, let's see what happens. Because I think we might see a Wide Guard. Okay, so we do just see the Protect, which is fine. We're going to get probably a little less than half here. No, right at half. Very nice. So yeah, if I had just waterfalled the camera up, I would have taken it out immediately. What else do we see here? Maybe a Rock-type move coming out? Oh, just dual Will-O-Wisp. Okay. So just in case here, I am going to write down, I need to remember that the camera up has Will-O-Wisp, and that the Araquanid has that Ice Beam. Rotom has a Thunderbolt. So what I want to do here, I think, is... I could take both of them out at the same time, but then I might be slower than whatever is in the back. So I think it might be better for me to... Well, I have the weather control if it's the Frostlass in the back. So yeah, we are just going to Waterfall here, and we are just going to Air Slash here. Because that will remove both of them if they decide to stay in. Oh, we do see a swap out into the Serena. Okay. That's not going to take really anything from the Waterfall. And I will knock out the Araquanid, which is great. Alright, so we have some progress here. So the Yachi Berry was useful in this situation. Love to see that. And then we see the Camerupt. I cannot type, apparently. And then there's the Frostlass. Okay. So for this situation here, the Frostlass is definitely going to be faster than what I have. So this is where I probably should have set up Tailwind on that last turn, honestly. Let's just try to go for a little bit of chip damage on the Serena. And I am not going to live a Blizzard here. For sure. But in the event that my opponent goes for something else, we are going to try to Tailwind here. I think that it's just going to be a Helping Hand Blizzard scenario, and I do regret not just setting up my my Tailwind on the last turn. I should have. Alas. Alright, so it's snowing now, and we see the Helping Hand again. If it's not broke, why fix it, right, Goki? Right? Now, this actually might not KO. Okay, so it did not KO the Gyarados, so that's really good news there. We see the Frostlass picking up the KO on my Gyarados, on my Dragonite. I get a little bit of chip damage. Just a little bit. Oh, and I freeze him back. And you know what? That still doesn't really make up for the last battle, because I don't really know, like, how... I don't know. I just don't know how useful it would have been to have that happen here. I don't know. Especially with the camera up still in the back. Like, I just don't think it really, truly matters that much. But yeah, we're going to try to swap out here into our Tyranitar. And to make sure that I'm faster, I am going to stay in my base form here. Because I don't think I want to take the hit from the Frostlass. Granted, he shouldn't hit 70% accurate moves in Sandstorm, but you know how that goes. Alright, so yeah, we're just going to stay in base, and we're going to switch out, get the Sandstorm up, and hopefully hit this Frostlass as hard as possible. You, me, as hard as you can. Alright, so we do not see that happen because they just go for a Protect, which means that the Serena might thaw out. It is standing very stock still, and it stays frozen. That's what happened to me last time. What do you know? Alright. So, with that being the situation, we are going to Dark Pulse that slot for sure. And, yeah, we're going to stay in base and try Iron Heading again. Because now we have the best of both scenarios. And this also means that we are going to do a lot of damage. This is why I went for a Dark Pulse instead of the Power Gem, just in case Camera Up decided to come in here. Because now it is going to get KO'd here very easily. The Serena is just staying frozen. So this Dark Pulse is definitely going to KO the Camera Up. And so Tyranitar picks up the KO in this battle. And Camera Up basically burned half of my team. This also means we get to see... Wait, Araquanid, Camera Up, Frostlass. I forgot to write Serena. Alrighty. So, boom. Okay. So we are going to swap right back out to Gyarados here. This will also help us debuff the Serena. And we are just going to stay in base and protect. Because I didn't get that Tailwind up, I want to ensure that I am going to be faster here in just a moment. Now, even if my opponent does target down the Tyranitar slot, that's not terrible because I'll get the debuff on the Serena as my Gyarados is coming in. So even if it does thaw out, it'll be at -1 attack. So we do get the debuff there on the Serena, and we're probably just going to see a Blizzard here, which even without the Helping Hand, with the HP that I'm at, I expect that to KO. We just see Ice Beam, okay. So I get to stick around for another little bit here. We see Trop Kick into that slot as well. Okay. So yeah, we're definitely going to see Blizzard right here, is what I would anticipate. And we're going to go right back out to Tyranitar to get that weather where I want it to be. And we are going to go for the Mega Evolution and the Iron Head, I think is what I want to do. Because if they're going to go for the Ice Beam, then it's going to do a lot more damage into me. They also might dual target this slot too. No, I think I want to play with me being faster than them. So yeah, we're going to swap out to the Tyranitar, get the weather back into my control. There's a chance that the Frostlass might protect here, but I am less worried about the Serena if it's going to be going for these -1 moves here. So it does protect again, and so we are not going to break through that because we're not Mega Evolved. No Piercing Drill here. And we see Trop Kick into the Excadrill. Okay, so actually, man, even after -1, that does a lot. That might be a, that honestly feels like an offensively invested Serena. We are going to definitely go for a dual target here. Actually, I think I might want to just attack with Tyranitar here and protect the Excadrill, because my opponent seems very keen on taking out the Excadrill here, so this might be a free turn for my Tyranitar to do something. And I don't mind getting hit by the Trop Kick because I'm not using physical moves. So this might even put it into range of the Sandstorm. I'm not expecting this to KO. I am modest, but I don't have any special attack investment. I put all of my stuff into defenses this week, thinking that I'd be slower with my Tyranitar a lot of the time here. Which is what I want, right? I need my Pokemon to be slower to make sure that my weather goes up. I guess it wouldn't really matter though. My opponent gets the double protect. Why not? You know, at this point, double protect. We got freezes. Why not be able to pull off the double protect? All this protecting, by the way, if I just Mega'd at this point, I think I would have KO'd it. But that's kind of neither here nor there. Yeah, we're going to continue to target down right into that slot there. Now, I'm not at -1 attack, which also isn't great, but this is the only way that I can ensure that I get the damage here. I have to KO it at this point. So I'm really happy that I retained the Tyranitar. How much does a -1 Iron Head do? It takes it out. There we go. I hope that was a crit. It wasn't. I didn't even need the crit. Huzzah. Alright, Excadrill, thank you for bailing me out here. Let's see another Trop Kick. And that means that the Frostlass went down there. Wow, that did not KO. I am surprised. Okay, and so now we can just go for a safe Dark Pulse and a safe Iron Head into the Serena. Okay, so that means that the Serena does not get a KO, and then my Excadrill should be faster here. So that worked out a lot better when my Pokemon don't get frozen. Weirdly, I think that the Sableye Excadrill lead, no, because he was going to go for Will-O-Wisp there, so maybe that would not have worked out, actually. So we saw a Helping Hand, and we saw a Trop Kick. We know that the Frostlass has Ice Beam, and Blizzard, and it has Protect. And the Shadow Ball. I think that's all the information that we got from that. Okay, so we are into a Game 3 scenario, which is fantastic, because that Game 1 felt really bad there. So Game 3 here. So what do I want to do differently? Okay. I know I need to bring the Excadrill and the Tyranitar. Those, I think, are pivotal to winning this. I think that my opponent is going to lead off with the Frostlass again. Just because that just works really well here. They haven't brought Lycanroc to a game yet. Unless they brought it in Game 1 in the back, because I think that I just didn't see their last Pokemon in Game 1. Okay. What if I lead with my Dragonite, so that way I can go for Tailwind. And then I have Dragonite alongside Mega Excadrill. That could be the play, because he knows that I'm Yachi Berry. He might not think that I'm multi-scale Yachi Berry. He might not. I don't know. But I could protect with Excadrill and set up the Tailwind. And then that way... No. I don't think that that's the play here. Okay, so I want Tyranitar in the back. That's one. Let's try out Sableye again. With Excadrill, Tyranitar, and I think I want Gyarados to... It feels so weird to bring Dragonite with what I've seen, but I'm going to do it. It feels so weird to bring Dragonite. I was not originally intending to bring Dragonite alongside Tyranitar, but here I might have an opportunity to set up a Tailwind. A little bit of a panic bring, honestly, if we're being so honest there. Okay, so I got the call wrong again there, because having Sableye in against the Serena is not great. Sableye, Excadrill, Tyranitar, Dragonite against the Frostlass, and the Serena. Okay, so let's just go for our Light Screen again. And then let's go for... Let's Protect this time, I think, is the way to go. Because last time I tried to just swap in, and then that's when I got frozen and everything. But this time, let's play it so that we'll be faster, and that could also force out the Frostlass. And he might be expecting that play turn 1. Nope. Alright, so that just means we're going to see the Blizzards coming out here. It might even be Ice Beam. We're just going to Protect. Let's see if we see Blizzard or Ice Beam. Probably Blizzard. Light Screen will help mitigate it slightly, but after the Helping Hand, not really. Alright, so we do just see Blizzard. This is going to hurt Sableye. We saw that do about 70% last time. Do not crit my Sableye, and don't freeze it either. Gosh darn it. Yeah, that did a ton of damage. Good gravy. I cannot use my moves, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and go for this play. And I'm thinking let's... If I switch into Tyranitar, I'll get rid of their weather. But I won't be faster if I Mega Evolve here. Trop Kick is probably coming out into my Excadrill slot as well, if I had to guess. Let's try to Iron Head this slot, because even if it protects, I'll make progress. So we do not see the Protect. Do we see the Camera Up? Do we see the Araquanid? We see Araquanid. Okay. So that does make me happy that I brought the Rock Blast. Light Screen will help with the Araquanid a good bit here. So I do like that interaction. This is going to do slightly more damage since I am going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. Yeah, I'm not really sure here where I'm going to go from here. I'm probably going to take a Trop Kick. So let's Rock Blast on this turn. We do see the Trop Kick. That still does more than I'm comfortable with. Good gravy. Serena, you're doing the most here, I gotta say. Okay, so my Light Screen is up, so if the Araquanid wants to go for Water-type special moves, it'll be doing less damage. But let's try to think here. I would think that my opponent is not going to risk trying to swap out something into their Frostlass right away. We know that the Araquanid has Protect. I think I should focus on the Serena here because it is more annoying. So let's double into the Serena slot here. And we will Iron Head that Serena. Let's see if I call it here. We see a Wide Guard. Okay. This is exactly why I did not bring Rock Slide, by the way. Because I was worried about that. Okay, with the -1 attack, that really doesn't do that much. We do not flinch it. Wow, that Trop Kick does a lot. And we saw earlier how much the Power Gem or the Dark Pulses do to the Serena, so this is not going to KO it either. But now it's totally in range of another move, which is great. So here, I think I'm going to try protecting you. And we're going to try for the Rock Blast into... Would my opponent swap the Serena right now? Because they need the Serena to stop my Sableye from being so annoying, is the thing. We got 2 more turns of light screen here. We're just going to keep targeting down the Serena, I think. Oh, we see the helping hand. Okay, so I'm probably going to lose Tyranitar here. Gosh darn it. Well, it's kind of hard to lose it if I protect, I guess. I think I'm going to lose someone here, though, is my point. This is going to finish off the Serena for sure. Okay. So Serena goes down, and we see the Hydro Pump into the Tyranitar. That worked out great. Okay. That worked out really, really nicely. Alright, so that frees up my Sableye in the back. Finally. Okay. So my opponent is definitely going to go out into their Frostlass here. Which, we both are at 3 Pokemon now, so I can't really easily protect this turn. I get 1 more turn of Light Screen, though, and I'm debuffed. I mean, I kind of have to swap out Tyranitar, right? I think I want to... Yeah, I'm just going to have to eat a Blizzard here. So yeah, even though I would love to get up another Light Screen is the freaking issue. Okay, I'm going to try swapping this, and then protecting with my Excadrill. That's what we're going to try out here. My thinking is if I have something go down here, I'd rather have the Sableye for assistance. So, I get to see the last Pokemon here, too. It's the Lycanroc Dusk. Okay, great. So that sucks, because that thing is faster than a lot of what I have here. And we just see the Blizzard. Yeah. So unfortunately, my Dragonite's not really going to... Like, it'll take this hit, but... That's after Multiscale and the Yachi Berry, by the way. Oh, okay. That's a crit. And a freeze. Okay. Well, that sucks, and I don't know what to do about it, honestly. I don't... That doesn't actually matter, right? I don't think it does. It's just more of, like, the damage that it does to my psyche. I believe is what the issue is right there. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of whatever. With Lycanroc in the back, this is probably game anyway, because they can always swap out the Frostlass. We're going to try to get in Sableye here. And... do I get it? Okay, I do get that. I was thinking that they might go for a Drill Run. And of course, I just go down there to the Ice Beam. So Frostlass picks up a KO. And Dragonite doesn't do anything because it gets frozen. So once again, I'm thinking let's just get rid of the weather. And my opponent does not know that I have Disable or Encore, which are also good to know here. So I think I'm going to protect my Tyranitar. And let's try to lock the... Well, no, it might just Encore. I mean, it might just go for the same move, though. I think I just want a Light Screen. Granted, my opponent keeps on critting me, so it might not actually matter or help. So maybe I just need damage here? I think I need a Light Screen for this endgame. Okay, so I did get... I'm happy I went Light Screen here. I'm thinking that my opponent's going to try to target down my Tyranitar. I'm hoping, at least. Here's my Light Screen. That'll help a little bit for the damage, hopefully, that Excadrill might be taking later on. And we just see Rock Slide. Can we see a miss on my Sableye? That would be great. No? This is probably going to KO. Yep. So Lycanroc KOs my Sableye. But we did get back up our light screen, which means that I might be able to take a freaking hit here. Alright, so what we have to try to do here is... I think I need to... The Frostlass is probably going to swap out, if I had to guess here. So let's try to hit the other side. It's going to get the special defense boost too here. Last Pokemon is the Araquanid, right? If I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, the last Pokemon's Araquanid. It's around 60% health. So I think I just want to try to Iron Head you. I think. I'm expecting we're going to see the swap here. So this is exactly why I tried to double in here. Come on. Come on. Oh no, that's definitely going to kill me. Oh man. It feels so bad, man. It feels so bad. That is going to be game for sure. That is absolutely the game. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even really know, like, what I could have done better, I guess. Like, I think I lost game 1 because I didn't get to play it. I feel like I played game 2 really well positioning the weather. And then maybe Dragonite wasn't the bring on game 3. Maybe I should have brought Avalugg. Maybe? I don't know. Anyways, Goki, thank you for the battle. I'm a little bit deflated here because I'm pretty sure that means that I'm out of playoff contention. But I can't argue with the results, man. The blizzards. I'm as big of a fan of cold weather. I'd much rather have cold weather than hot weather, especially with the way climate change is going. But the freezes and the crits coming out of your Frostlass were absolutely insane. And I'm assuming you trained it in Champions. All my Pokemon were like trained. Maybe that's what's going on. It's just like a geriatric scenario. I don't know. I don't know. Goki, thank you for the battle. For all of you who are here, make sure that you go check out Goki's channel. I have no idea why they just kicked me out of there like that. That was weird. I'm going to get out of here, and we are going to prepare for our final week of the NBBL in the meantime. And I appreciate you being here with me. Goodbye.